Ladies and gentlemen.
I want to know, can you find your mind?
Welcome to Love Your Brain.
Hello, beautiful people. My name is Eric.
Hey everybody, my name is Dave, and welcome to Love Your Brain. It's episode number 5.
Yeah,
How you doing today, Eric?
I am doing excellent.
You're
Yep.
the one shot out of a cannon today.
Well, I was on the car ride over, but it does not mean that I'm even keel and grounded and steady in the
It
moment.
doesn't mean you're even keeled.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'm good.
good.
No more
Nice.
being shot out of a cannon like I was on the way
I
over.
like it when you're shot out of a cannon.
Yeah.
You're on fire.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. I'm a little bit slower today,
That's
which is
okay.
probably good. Might need somebody to help fill in the gaps.
Balance it out.
Maybe. Yeah.
Well, I think we might have a potential candidate for that.
Yeah. So we're beating around the bush. We today we've got our first guest, and you know what? I never even thought of a way to introduce him. So I think what I'm just going to say is today we have Nate with us, and he's going to be our first guest today. And I've known Nate now for about it's probably 5-6 years at least now. Yeah, and we met over conversations about music, which led to a lot of other stuff that we talk about on the podcast. So, Nate, welcome.
Welcome, Nate.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. I've known you for, about 25 minutes now?
Just about 25 minutes.
Yeah. Well, it's been a great introduction. We've had some really cool conversations on the way over.
Yeah.
I've gotten to know you a bit. You've got a lot to say, and it sounds to me like you have a lot of things to offer the world too, in terms of what I would consider God-given gifts
Well,
in the
thank you,
realm
man.
of music. You want to say just a little bit, like if someone were to ask you this question, like say a little bit about yourself, what would you say?
I would say my name is Nathan. I'm a bassist, musician.
Mhm.
I write poetry, and that's about it. I just like to create. I think most of all, I like to create, and I like to be a part of creation.
Mm.
Yeah.
When did you realize that was something that it sounds to me like it's part of your purpose? When did you realize that?
So, it really goes back to like when I started, learning like the arts and music. I was always, part of music from being in church choir, the youth church choir, or, joining, band in 3rd grade and playing violin and whatnot. But ever since then, I loved it, and I, started doing doodles here and there, and I just never really saw myself as not that. It was just who I was. I just kept on keeping it.
Interesting. I myself started as an artist I was about 6 years old, and my parents started talking about getting me into art lessons because of the stuff I was drawing at 6. So I started art lessons at the age of 7. I've never considered myself. I've always considered myself an artist. I mean, I've branched off as well into poetry, music. Yeah.
I mean, that's all art too,
Oh, absolutely. So what made you, did you pick up the bass on your own desire? Or were you, as Frank Zappa said, a demoted guitarist?
I was not a demoted guitarist.
Beautiful.
So a good friend of mine, Brett, he came to me one day in 7th grade, and he said to me, "Yo, Nate, I know you're in the music program and whatnot. I just got a guitar. I want to play Red Hot Chili Peppers music."
Nice.
he needed a bassist. And I said, my dad has a bass guitar. I can play that. And so I did.
Nice.
Yeah.
So your first thing was to jump right into trying to imitate Flea, huh?
I mean, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of bassists from, modern days,
I saw them not too long ago, last summer.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Where?
I saw them in LA.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's really cool.
I will tell you too, if I'm being honest, which I always am, it was very disappointing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yep, it was. And that's okay. Like, I think maybe what was happening too is that I had these very high expectations of what I was going to witness. And it was okay, but they did stop. I think it was like the second or third song. They stopped about 4 measures in and had to start over.
Uh-oh.
And really, the way it occurs to me is that Chad was struggling.
Uh-oh.
Like he was just not. And maybe it was a sound thing, but one of my favorite bands of all time. Yeah. Blood Sugar Sex Magic is
that's
definitely in my top 10 albums of all time. Yeah.
It's a good album.
Yeah.
I think from what I've seen of like the live recordings posted on YouTube and whatnot, they're certainly not, what they are in the records. But Anthony's voice, isn't always there too,
Yeah. I think you bring up a good point, which is that there's a lot of bands out there that are amazing in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just know how to lay it down and layer and track. And, but when it comes to the live performance, I guess maybe some bands aren't just live bands. One of my favorite bands of all time is Led Zeppelin. Mm. And I've seen some laughable live Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
I mean, but then you listen to their stuff on the albums and Jimmy Page, I mean, he's doing anywhere from 2 to 4 different guitar parts in some songs. So you can't really expect to get from a live performance what you listen to either on the radio or a record or a CD player, all these very ancient things that I'm bringing up right now.
It's funny because I come at music from a completely different end, which was always bands who were really focused on live performance stuff, right? So, I mean, I was 14 or so when I went to my first Dead show and continued to follow them until Garcia died, right?
Yeah.
So, and they were a pretty live band, a lot of Fish stuff. Bela Fleck and the Flecktones are just so fantastic.
Vic Wooten,
live.
man.
Yeah, Victor.
And
I'm a huge fan of Victor's brother,
Future Man?
Future Man.
Oh, yeah.
The
And
drum
his
guitar?
Syntax drummatar. He made that himself.
I know, dude.
And oh God, what an
It's
amazing
nuts.
instrument!
It's
That's
nuts.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I think what you're bringing up is the same could be said for there's bands that are really awesome live.
Yeah.
Then when you hear their studio stuff, it's like, I don't know about that. And
Yeah.
I would put Fish in that category.
I would put Fish also in that category.
I would put Grateful Dead in that category. However, they had some really like amazing hits like that got radio play and they're known for those songs. But in general, to me, the Dead needs to be heard live.
And I want to actually talk about that part of music for a sec, because I mean their goal originally had been like they wanted to be like fingers on a hand. Each one was a finger on a hand, and in order for the hand to work, all the fingers have to work together and be seamless. And rather than being a guitarist and a bassist and they all came together as creating music using the things in front of them pretty much.
Yeah.
But they did the other part of the hand that they needed was the audience.
Yeah.
And the feedback from the audience is so key in their music, and you can't capture that. Right?
Right.
And they feed off that, and so that brings me kind of the thing I'm wondering. So as somebody who has been pretty much considered themselves a musician their entire life, what's that zone for you? What is it the thing that feeds and drives the music rather than just playing the notes for you?
A lot of it is the energy. It's who you're playing with, a lot of it. And because I know some very, very, very talented musicians that I just cannot gel with. You know, when we go into play, it's just not all there because we just work a little different. I'm not so sure. The roar of the crowd, is always nice, but I don't think that's it for me because I think no matter who's listening, I think I could do what I do.
I was saying going back to when you were a kid.
Oh,
So
going back to when I was a kid,
what's going on the inside?
I'm just,
What I mean, I guess what I'm asking is, what's the zone like for you?
the zone for me is being with people, creating art together as one. That's the zone for
Great
me.
answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've experienced that before too, and the zone is not easily achieved, and I've found playing in a lot of different bands over the years that it took years to actually be able to get into the zone consistently. There would be these magical moments where it's like, yo, what did we just do? We all stopped at the same time. Like, how did we know to go into that chord or whatever? But yeah, man, it's like, it's almost like talking to an old friend where you find your tempo, you find a way of listening, a way of speaking that you're familiar with. And yeah, so that's what it is for me to get into that zone. But yeah, there's something magic about the zone, don't you think?
There's
No, please speak.
I wanted to say, like, as a guy who does, I play music a bit. I'm not like you two, but I play, and I write, and I've found I used to call it channeling. When I would be writing something, and the words would start to tumble out faster than I could record them, you know? And I would just, and I felt that it was always easier if I kind of went inside and decoupled from my brain. I tried to get my mind out of the way of whatever it is that creates, that comes through me. Right. And so I'd be writing as fast as I can. And that's the same exact feeling I get like when I'm playing with Eric on the drums or even by myself. Because as you may have seen today, Nate, I have a lot of single person instruments, to keep myself entertained. But even when I'm playing, like when the rest of the thinking drops away, for me, that's when I start to enter the zone. That's when I start to feel that kind of channel of creativity that comes from somewhere, I don't know where.
It's like your mind drops out. Yeah. It's the complete like separate person within inside you. It's some sort of artistic spirit. I feel the same thing a lot of the times. Cause like, I'll go on stage some nights, and then next thing I know, I'm walking off stage, it's just, I'm in it, I'm in the moment. And then, but it's like a different me. It's a second me.
Do you think it's more closely related to the true you?
I think it is. I think it's from the subconscious. I think it's so true to me that I can't summon it like at will, It chooses when to come out,
Wow. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Years ago, you heard of the website jambands.com?
Yeah.
And this would have been during the mid to late 80s, maybe closer to 2000, maybe. A friend of mine, another author, his name's Dean Butnick. He's famous for the Fishing Manual, a compendium to fish's music. And I think he wrote that in around that time, maybe late. Actually, now that I think about it, he was writing it when he was writing it mid-90s. Anyways, that's not important. And he said they were starting up this site, and he asked me to do music reviews and other articles and stuff. So I started there, doing that for a while. This was before it changed and new owners, and you can only find my stuff in the archive. But I wrote a piece called "Where Does the Time Go?" stolen from Uncle John's band. And it was about this exact topic of when I'm in that moment, when I'm in that zone, other stuff drops away. The me drops away. The thing that I identify as Dave, that ego, that self drops away, and I become part of that collective.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Right. And I was trying to write that out, and it's like it's the same thing as I swear to God, it's the relativity of time, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Is that time in itself does not exist when our ego is uncoupled from engaging with moment by moment happening. And when we're not tracking moment by moment and in moment by moment, then there is no time.
Yeah.
And then boom, you're walking off the stage.
Exactly. No, it's like the the saying, time flies when you're having fun. It's all relative. It's all relative to, attention and, what you're dedicating your time to. If you're dedicating your time to time, time's going to move slow.
Nice.
Perfect. Yeah.
That's a good one-liner. If you're dedicating your time to time, time is going to move slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess really one of the things that we're talking about is just like when I actually allow myself to be purely present in the moment, that's when I notice the magic of life. And I notice that I don't notice it a lot because I'm not in the present moment, because I am in that itty bitty shitty committee egoic, somewhat left shoulder, right shoulder, there's just so much about there's so much about personality and ego that I'm starting to realize that, or I started to realize a few years ago, do you really know who you are? Like, do I actually know who I am if who I believe I am is the personality that I have, that I put out to others? When I discover the truth of who I am is when I'm in those moments, Nate, that you speak of, or that you, Dave, were sharing about. And it's just got me thinking. Just got me thinking about how it all can be applied to other contexts where I'm being more of that fully self-expressed, true Eric.
Yeah.
And I'm working on it. And I think I'm there sometimes when I really just don't give a fuck in the greatest way possible of what it means to not give a fuck.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does. It does. Yeah. Yeah. I really like that. Who I'm trying to be is showing. Just be yourself, I think, is the end of it all. Yeah.
It's funny how many different ways. Now, as a person who's been through quite a few dramatic changes over the course of my life, and who now is also trying to be a semi-practicing Buddhist, I'm not perfect, nor do I think I ever will be. But when I spend a lot of time trying to be mindful of everything, mindful, right thought, right intention, right word, right action. Those are all, I try to be very present with all that. And so it does help quite a bit, but then you get slammed. Like the other day, I was dealing with something. I've got some pretty bad back problems. And all of a sudden I realized I just couldn't do things that I've always been able to do. Stuff that ever since I was a kid that I could do, things, lift things, whatever. And all of a sudden I can't do some of it. And it hit me like a ton of bricks when I realized just how I hadn't realized how much of myself I had attached just to that little part. And when all of a sudden I could see it crumbling and falling apart, and I no longer was that guy who could do those things. Like I talked to you that night, Eric, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in great shape, you know, and it's amazing how many levels you can go down and continue to hit stuff like that. I mean, the onion has many, many layers.
Sure does. And I'd like to know more layers about you, Nate, in terms of just like what's going on in your life right now. Like what's happening? What's happening with you?
Well, what's happening with me is, I just graduated from high school. I got plans to go to college next year. I'm going to the School of Jazz and Contemporary Music in New York at the new school.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's the top layer of it. And, you go down, you get the little things happening, like me going skateboarding every Tuesday or whatnot, and me, having jam sessions with friends here and there, and, all that sort of stuff. But that's pretty much it. I try not to be as layered. I try to put it all out there, onion wise, I think.
Try to put it all out there.
I personally feel like I'm not trying to hide anything. And I know some people are. And I feel society today is trying to get you to onion up.
Onion up. I like it, dude.
Yeah, I like what you're saying. Yeah.
And I don't know. I try to peel back the layers there.
Cool.
Yeah. I suppose it's a hell of a lot easier if you don't build the layers in the first place.
Yeah.
Right? To have to peel them back.
Right. I'm on the other end of that, man. I got a lot of goddamn layers.
Me too, buddy.
Me
too. Yeah. Stay the course, my friend.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
Stay the
gold,
course, dude.
pony
You don't
boy.
want to. Yeah, that's good. So is there any anything that that brings up fear for you about this new transition in your life?
Well, it's, I'm not going to be living at home at my parents' house anymore. I'm going to be living in a dormitory and whatnot. And it is in New York City, which is a big change of scene from,
Being a New Hampshire
being in
country
New
bumpkin.
Hampshire. Yeah. But I do got family out in New York City, so I still got a little slice of home out there and whatnot.
You planning on playing when you get down there?
Oh, that's all I plan on doing.
No, I mean outside of school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've already, chatted up on the forums with different musicians going to the school, and how, we should totally collaborate, Oh, I see you're a guitar player, I see you're a bassist, I see you're a keyboard player. We should totally collaborate. What music do you like? Oh, we should totally play that. We'll start a little band or whatnot, But
Well, that doesn't suck.
no, it does not suck. I'm so excited. And in New York, there's not a shortage of places to play live music. So,
For sure. Yeah.
No doubt.
Go hit Greenwich Village.
oh
Be
yeah,
one more person to put your footprint out there. That'd be nice.
yeah, that's the plan. That's the hope. That's the dream.
Just being in the position you are, with being this amazing younger person. I hope that doesn't offend you. but
No.
Yeah, it's it brings me hope, and it inspires me too. I'm just curious, like, what you see needs to shift in our world today. Like, do you have any thoughts on that, bro?
I think it's going to be, quite frankly, dependence on technology for social needs. I think that's personally, that's always bugged me. I never dug on Snapchat, and like I have an Instagram, so I am hypocritical. But I
It
never.
really does depend on how you use it.
It does, everything in moderation, right? But specifically with the younger generation and kids my age and kids younger than me who have access to this thing and are unsupervised with it, they don't know when to stop. They see it as the real world because these are, being in young age, you're designed to need communication. That's how you grow. That's how you develop as a human being. And so when all that is on a little cellular device or phone or computer or whatnot, you get these false connotations, and these little kids are addicted to their screens, man. And I'm sure there's going to be some culture shift. It's very allegory of the cave, very, very Plato. All they know is the shadows on the wall and stuff. And they get told, oh, there's real stuff out here. And they're like, no, it's not. But once, I think, parental wise, there's going to be a little bit of a shift. I just coming out of high school, I know there's plans to make big shifts in high school on how phones are dealt with in the classroom.
Yep.
But it's been really detrimental because you stick these kids who have been on their iPad for 5 years into the real world. They can't hold a conversation.
Yeah, you hit me pretty heavy, bro, because I have, that's my daughter right there. You guys can't see, but I'm showing him a picture of my daughter on the keychain. Yeah. So heard. And yes, I've witnessed what you're talking of. And, it's really interesting you're bringing this up because Dave and I are in the midst of probably a three-part series with this podcast on addiction. So, this is what we're talking about, right? And my daughter actually came to me and my ex-wife, who's a very good friend of mine. We're like the poster children for co-parenting, like positive co-parenting. It annoys some people, but it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
With that being said, she actually came to us and said, I need help. And started to realize, back to the time conversation we were talking about earlier, like she started to realize that like time was just going away.
Oh,
and
yeah.
She feels as though she's missing out on time lost because of Roblox and watching, these quick YouTube videos and all that stuff. So, and it's our job as her parents. It's our job to supervise and monitor, like you said. And I think there are a lot of parents that find, it to be quite easy at times when you just plug your kid in.
Yeah.
And I'm with you on that. So yeah, we've implemented some very strict boundaries and windows of time that she's allowed to. And then once it's done, it's like art, read books.
Yeah.
And what's cool? What's been happening?
What?
And I'll try not to get emotional. She's been talking to me.
That's awesome, man.
She's been
Yeah.
talking to me about what she thinks about and what's in her heart and what's on her mind. And I did not realize what a barrier that goddamn iPad was until she asked for help and we started having these moments at night. It's usually from, 7 o'clock until she goes to bed, where she's just talking to me, man. I'm like, what? So anyways, that's me being fully self-expressed. I'm okay with emoting in front of people. And that's where my truth comes out too. So yeah, thanks for sharing that, man. That hit home more than you. Well, I think you can imagine now. It hit home.
Yeah, I went in a completely different direction when you started talking about technology and the shift. I started thinking about AI.
Yeah, I knew you did. I had a feeling you did.
That's exactly where my mind went because, I'm without getting too deep into it, I've got some incredibly big concerns about it, and I was talking with somebody when I was at work and they said, so you're a skeptic about AI? I said, no, I'm not a skeptic about AI at all. 100% confident it's going to do what it's going to do.
Yeah.
What I'm skeptical about is the people who are putting the guardrails on it, paying attention to what they're doing, paying attention to how it'll affect people, paying attention to the ethical concerns that'll come out of it, because it, of course, got some amazing potential for kids who do have trouble, and do need technology to some extent. I worked for years in a public school district, managing technology. And a lot of that was technology for special services that really, really, we had multiple students who were non-vocal, right? And they could program the iPad and have a conversation with you. It was fantastic. I loved working with those kids more than almost anybody, So there's that part, but I'm very, very concerned about, well, most people are concerned with the bottom dollar and they'd rather bypass the ethics to get there.
Yeah.
I guess like the main thing is, the difference between medicine and poison is dosage, all in how you use it. Every tool is a weapon if you hold it right. That's
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. I don't know. From the AI perspective, I know nothing about AI. I never used ChatGPT. I never used it coming out of high school, kids would use it to cheat on their tests. They're blowing their brains away, just not learning what they're supposed to learn because this other thing will just, do the copy paste stuff.
Yep.
As a pen and ink artist, I got a big problem, obviously, with AI art because I don't like to have much between me and the piece of paper.
Oh, of course.
I have begrudgingly moved into digital only because I would draw stuff on paper, scan it, clean it up. So it got a little ridiculous. But but there, on the other hand, Eric, you've done some pretty amazing stuff.
I have a whole page dedicated to AI art.
Wow.
With spiritual teachings, and I have a group of three individuals. There's four of us. We call it the 444 Council. The name of the page is 444 Spirit Creations. And I love listening to what everyone says. So AI for me has been a beautiful, in the context of creative outlet. It's been a beautiful creative outlet. And the page is not solely about the images, but more about the content that are associated with the images. And I've got a lot of thoughts on AI. We could probably do a whole episode on AI, but I do think that you spoke of spirit on the way over here.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big spirit person myself, and I do believe at times that I am channeling spirit. Like when I'm in sessions with clients, I do shadow work coaching on the side. Dave, you used the term channel. There's times where I'm so outside myself that I don't even think I'm creating something. I actually think I'm discovering something that already exists.
Yeah.
Right. And so with that related to the AI thing, I have found spirit in AI.
Wow.
Specifically Midjourney version 3 for all you AI nerds out there. That is the one version that I have literally had the most amazing synchronicities happen and have just been able to channel certain prompts that have turned into these magnificent images that for me, in my world, are from spirit.
I just want to go on record here saying is I am obviously uncomfortable using the term channel because of the connotation that often
Yeah, right, exactly.
for me, but I know that there is a thing, of course, where I have to get out of the way and let the creativity come through. I couldn't think of a better word.
It's a good word. You even brought up the collective, and I'm like, yo, Dave's bringing in some words that he usually would, pick apart with his mind microscope. I don't know how else to explain it, but Dave likes to really hone in on semantics and what do you actually mean, and that's a lot of our conversations.
That's a lot about the right thought, right intention, right speech. And I try, and sometimes I will, mostly I just like to needle you.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, no, and you were talking about the AI thing, and before it was, what do you see one of the biggest challenges in society today? And you brought up the iPad and how newer generations are really struggling with, communication.
No.
And eye contact. Well, it made me think of just, if AI is going to be the main tool for writing a research paper, or solving a problem, I do think that we are going to dumb ourselves down if we are way too dependent and reliant on AI, for sure.
So
Think you
Go
had something
ahead,
to
say
say.
something.
No, please,
No.
please.
I was going to say that sentiment has been echoed generation after generation after generation, going back centuries, that we're going to lose what we have. We're going to lean on something like a crutch. Those are all concerns that we've always had.
Yeah.
You're probably old enough to remember when Walkmans came out.
Oh yeah, dude.
And
I was in-
the
I
whole
was in
scare
7th
about
grade.
people walking around with headphones on,
Yeah.
they're going to walk into the traffic and get run over.
Yeah.
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
And so there's always been that too. But meanwhile, I've got reservations in both directions, right? Both coming and going. I got going into AI, but I also have them in the other direction, right? About being so afraid of what is going to happen that you no longer engage with the things that,
Make you human.
Yeah.
that is also part of your community too.
Yeah.
Because Nate, you going down to New York and connecting with all these people and setting all this stuff up, like without technology,
Yeah.
right? You might have had a couple of names or phone numbers, maybe an address.
Yeah, but I mean, it does make it really easy. Being mindful of the next step. It's just the next step, right? But
Sure.
you got to take that next step smartly. You got to know where to put your foot.
Like you said about
Yeah,
the tool being, it's all about how much you're using it. So
exactly. But it's like, so I'd like communicate with these other people, but I'd never be like, okay, I'm switching to only making AI music now because that's the only thing. But it's just all depends on how you use it. Yeah.
I only recently started messing around with creating only digital music.
Mm.
Prior to that, I would use digital music to layer tracks, but
Yeah.
but now I was like that little techno thing at the beginning and end of the podcast is something I threw together.
Well, that's awesome.
They
Man.
did that whole intro.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what my mind sounds like. All that stuff. Yeah.
I don't know. Well, like specifically within the music context and technology, I think synthesizers are, very, very important creation within music. But I still think compared to like modern loopers and pre-made, settings and whatnot, you need to know how to program to use synthesizers and whatnot versus everything being automated now. But I've heard some great digital music.
Dude.
Digital music
it's
is
pretty
really,
much what
really
I
cool.
listen to, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
listen to mostly EDM.
Yeah.
I even listen to the genre called synthwave. You ever
No,
heard of
I
synth-
dig on synthwave.
Dude,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Comtrues.
Yeah.
Yeah. That who,
I don't know that.
Yeah.
No.
There's some pretty. Do you even know what it is, Dave?
No, I
Yeah.
prefer my music wooden.
Yeah. Dude, it's kind of cool. Like if you picture old video games from like the 80s and 90s with this extreme like layer of 80s nostalgia, that's what synthwave is.
I've actually heard.
Yeah, like the
I would much
soundtrack.
rather the one-liner.
Yeah, no, you're good with one-liners. Yeah, the soundtrack to you know what got me into it was Stranger Things.
Really?
Yeah,
because
just
that's all that.
Yeah, listening to
big
that, I'm like,
cat
I love the sound of this. I like to listen to a lot of movie scores.
Yeah.
Movie scores are some of my favorite albums of all time. You have one?
I mean, specific, like you listen to a lot of, like you watch a Kubrick movie, right?
Oh my, that's my guy.
There's always,
That's my guy.
Wendy Carlos, I think, is on a lot of the Kubrick movies, all those huge heavy
Yep.
synth tracks. You watch The Shining.
Yep.
Boom, boom, but great stuff. I think that's specifically with the music scoring and movie stuff. I think synthesis has great application.
Mm-hmm.
Great application because you can just you could just create things. What you needed, it's a lot to put a 30-person orchestra together to make this stuff, and it has a unique tone too. It's just a completely different thing, a different flavor.
There's a lot of cool. I mean, just think about when electric guitars first came out. They were like, it's not real music, and now it's what do you mean? Like that is
that's old.
Just
It's wooden.
thinking about like pre-popularity of Moog.
Love it.
I've
always called it Moog, but it is Moog, isn't it?
I think it is Moog. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Well, don't listen to me.
It's got two O's. That's
it's
an
got
ooze.
two
That's it.
O's.
Let's go Moog. Let's go Moog,
it's
dude.
Moogog. And so they were creating Apocalypse Now, the movie.
Yeah.
And it's got some, aside from the music, right? Because I mean, there's some great music in there, but there's all kinds of interesting sound effects and kind of spooky music when they're in the jungle and stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of that, they got the Grateful Dead's drummers to create a lot of that. And there's an album out there called Rhythm Devils Play River Music. And it's all the stuff that they did. And at one point they were trying to come up with that kind of feeling of dread when they're out and they're going down I think it might have been when they were going, everything's burning, it's late at night, and there's this kind of weird sound. And what it was is, at the time there was no way to make it. And so Mickey Hart created his own instrument, an instrument that did not exist before. He calls it the beam.
The what?
The beam.
The beam.
And it's an I-beam.
Oh, I've seen a video
with multiple pickups and piano strings, and then he'd play it with a metal bar. And over time, he's added more and more to this thing. And he'd take that bar and he'd just scrape it down the piano strings, then play with some of the settings, and you'd get that kind of real dread sound. He still plays that to this day with whatever bands he's with.
Yeah.
So this being the pre-synthesizer thing and kind of the soundtrack thing, and years ago I went to go see, I was on a conference. It was being held down at Disney, and Eisner, when he was stepping down, he was giving a talk, and the talk he was giving was on think inside the square. Think inside the box, not outside the box. And the reason being, he says, because the box are constraints. So he was talking in terms of movies. He's like, so at some point in time, you've only got so much money and so much time, and you have to try and make it work, And the example he gave is the scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark when he comes up on the guy who's got the sword and he just pulls the gun out and shoots him. Well, that was an ad lib because apparently Harrison Ford had diarrhea and he really needed to get off set, and they kept it.
Yeah.
But the whole point being is that sometimes when you're inside the box, for example, you don't have a synthesizer and you need to come up with that sound.
Mm-hmm.
And you might go as far as getting an I-beam and putting pickups on it and piano strings and giant hunk of metal to whack it with. Creativity, or at least my own, has come a lot of times out of just that very thing. Not having the right tool to do what I did and just kind of coming up with stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's those, you find the loophole, you find the way to work around it, you get creative with what you got. Yeah.
That's where serendipity happens, and you're like, yo, this is kind of cool. I just have to throw out, since we're talking about synth stuff, we got to mention the theremin.
Oh,
I was going to ask if
I
have
a mini theremin.
It is. I'm like,
I love it.
It's my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just had to throw that out.
Wizard hands making,
Explain what the
wizard
theremin
moves.
is to the people listening that may not know what it is.
I don't know the exact science.
I'll try to help.
So-
There's three of us here.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, Dave.
There's
Look at
the
that.
theremin.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like metal. It's a metal rod. It's using I don't know what it's using your hand placement.
Electromagnetic.
You interrupt the electric wave by using your hand.
Yeah.
So that's what I I've thought about building one because you can.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be fairly.
I think it was
simple.
invented in the 20s.
No,
Right?
yeah, no.
Yeah,
I,
it was. It's
I know it was really, really
yeah.
early.
And
for
then
synthesis.
then it was used obviously in what genre of film for years?
Yeah, obviously the horror films.
Sci-fi.
But have you ever
Sci-fi, dude? Like when you hear the
Yeah.
UFO comes in, it's a theremin.
Have you ever heard a really talented theremin player?
Yep.
Dude, it sounds like a woman singing.
Yeah.
Dude,
it's
so
eerie
beautiful.
and beautiful,
Beautiful.
at the
It's
same time. It's
beautiful.
eerily beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, yeah. I've seen a person, yes, and it's magic. They're just like, I mean, even Trey Anastasio when he was in what was that band with Stuart Copeland and Les Claypool? What was it called?
It's Oysterhead.
Oh, was it Oysterhead?
Oysterhead.
Yeah.
Was he an Oysterhead?
Yeah, that's what you're talking
Right.
about.
Yeah. Trey was an Oysterhead, and he had these deer antlers on his guitar, and he turned them into a theremin. And he's good. He's good at the theremin. What a cool instrument.
Yeah, that's one of those isolation instruments. That's why I want to get it because I'll just sit there and geek out on it.
That's awesome.
What's that?
You should build one.
You're totally away from the microphone.
Yeah, I know
so-
that wasn't effective. Yeah, you should build one. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like playing with electricity too.
I don't know. I've never built an instrument, but I think that would be a cool one. I know people like build their synthesizers. I know people who build the guitars, but
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
think-
built drums.
yeah.
You know, I built hand drums. Well, that would be about it, really. My friend John has built a couple. He's built a mandolin, some guitars. We'll have to have him in here at some point.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. I've never built any instrument. I just play them.
Yeah.
I have an electric kit.
Wow.
I love my electric kit, and I love my regular
Mm.
wooden drum set.
I don't know there's something about an acoustic guitar that just
Yep.
for me, I mean, you know, I'm a huge fan of, and that's actually how how Nate and I met. Was I was listening to some Hot Tuna,
Yeah.
and so we got Jorma Kaukonen, and I mean, if I had to see one person with one instrument, it's probably one of the guys I'm going to pick is going to be right at the top is Jorma, and so that's a guy who can make a wooden instrument do some amazing things.
Who's your favorite bassist?
My favorite bassist, I think that's got to be, Charles Mingus, who is an upright bassist. But,
Nice. Yes, he was.
You do upright too?
I do upright. Yeah, I do.
You
Nice.
said doo-doo.
I did say do, but
Oh, Mingus is wonderful.
it's great composition beyond his physical capability, but specifically within like the wooden aspects, because we're talking wooden instruments here. The upright bass, it's completely different animal, different beast than the electric bass.
Yeah.
They are cousins, not brothers. You know,
Which do you prefer?
I'm really split 50-50.
So it
Different
depends on what you're.
depends on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
They're different voices. They fill the same role, just differently, just completely.
You play jazz too?
I do, yeah.
You're a jazz cat.
I do a lot of jazz, a lot of soul,
Oh, Mingus,
a lot
yeah.
of rock. Yeah,
I can play a few odd time signatures, and then I fake the rest. But I'm
every
all right with like 5/4. I get very
Yeah.
comfortable in 5/4.
you have that take five,
You
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about.
but everything's in 4 if you count it right.
Yep.
Take 5.
Everything's in 4 if you count it right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, if you
I
write-
get very intimidated by jazz, even though like I can hang out if it's consistent. I can find my groove. But that's interesting. I've never thought of it that way.
It's an odd. I mean, it's like kind of a joke saying within the jazz and progressive music,
Yeah.
scene. But
Well, mathematically speaking, you kind of do that. If you put
Oh,
a
yeah.
big enough 4/4 chart underneath the different time signatures, eventually they
Yeah.
balance out.
Yeah.
that gets into
Yeah.
polymeters and
Yeah.
whatnot. It's really really
You're
interesting.
playing
stuff.
triplets within each period of time and within the 4/4 with each beat. So you're playing triplets within that. And
It's all whatever way you slice it, you know?
what do I know?
I got Take 5 in my head right now. I got to get it out.
It's a good tune.
I'm a Brubeck fan.
Yeah.
I love
yeah,
Brubeck.
man.
Yeah.
Ba-de-doo-de-doo-ba-doo, ba-boom, boom.
But Dave Brubeck also, he was always pushing the time signatures. I mean, that whole Timeout record, all a whole bunch, like, he's many tunes in 7, tunes in 5, all that. Always pushing time signatures. It's interesting. Like in different cultures and whatnot, other time signatures are just the norm.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, 14's the norm.
It's like a different language.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's like the way we talk.
Yeah.
Yep.
It is, which is in its own rhythm.
14's the norm, like in India, right?
I don't know where, but I mean, I guess you'd subdivide it in two groups of 7. I know 9 is a very big one. I know there's places that do 13. Yeah, because it's a lot of it's characterized by dance, you know, in different steps of different dance. I mean, and specific rhythm wise. I know we're over. Is that okay?
No, we're totally good,
Okay.
dude. Yeah, we can.
Like you go to South America and there's all these different feels in which are all these different kinds of music. It's like to the average North American listener, they might just sound like, oh, that's Latin music. Yes.
Right,
But
right.
these are different kinds of music, all with different kinds of rhythm, all characterized around these different dances. It's really, really cultural. It's really, really beautiful.
The celebration of music and dance is so central to so many cultures. The dance and the rhythm were built for each other. It's like the entire town gets together. There is
Yeah.
the playing, there is the
And there's
dancing.
all these sub.
There is a
genres
celebration
that-
for the feast or
Exactly.
the wedding
Yeah.
or the, that's, yeah, I absolutely, because I enjoy listening to music from all over.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was telling him on the before the car ride over, I was getting into Ethiopian jazz. There's a big scene around it, and I can't pronounce the word. Tezeta, I think it's called. I'm butchering that, I know, but it's nostalgia. That's what it translates to, and it's like this nostalgic music. But you listen to it, and it's all these odd phrasings. I mean, it's 4/4, but it's the phrasing that's odd, and like you can kind of pick up on it. It's really, really interesting stuff. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, for a while I've been pushing myself to learn the tar and doing more Arabic rhythms,
Yeah.
and so that's one of the challenges that I had. And then the Udu drum, which that's an African drum that comes out of Nigeria. They're pot drums. Made out of clay, and I've got a few different ones.
I've been messing around with the darbuka. That's my new favorite.
I don't know what that is.
It's also referred to as, I always forget. You know what else it's called, Dave? Darbuka's like synonymous with it. Doesn't really matter, but I could look it up. Yeah, I love it. It's
It's similar to a doumbek.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't
That
know
was
what
what.
that
Yeah.
is
So
either.
doumbek and darbuka.
It's an hourglass shape, single head drum.
clay usually.
Oh, yes.
Well, no, yours is clay. The doumbek is metal. It's a tin.
Oh.
Okay, so is that the difference between a darbuka and a doumbek?
Yeah, but
they sound about
somebody
the same.
somebody out there is going to yell at us. for
Oh
that.
yeah, right
But
in.
yeah, but
School
that's
us,
essentially
guys.
so. The doumbek is a tin, but they've got that high crackly head, and
I love it.
playing those.
I love
They
it.
beg to be played fast.
Yep. Yeah, like going double time or triple time on top of whatever's happening. Yeah, and doing a lot of offbeats too with it.
I know I've seen the hourglass drum. I just didn't know what it was called.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's fun. I mean that for hand drums, that and the djembe is my go-to.
Can't go wrong with the djembe.
You can't go wrong with the djembe, man. Yeah, you can't go wrong with music.
I think that's the lesson learned today. Yeah. Can't go wrong with
For me, it's
music.
the Udu drum. We got the talking drum, and lately a lot of ukulele work, doing finger picking blues on the ukulele.
Yeah, man.
And I've been getting into kazoos lately. I've got one that's got different size reeds, so you can get different tones out of it.
I'm not even going to joke when I say this, but I do play a mean slide whistle.
All right, yeah, man.
We should jug band.
I will go like I almost mimic someone who's scratching, like a DJ who's scratching
Yeah,
records
man.
and stuff. I do it with the slide whistle. It's fun.
I got a ceramic jug. I've got a washboard. I've got jaw harps and kazoos. I say we jug band.
Got to get a growler bass in there, man.
Let's go play
Yeah,
on the street and put a bucket out and make
Yeah,
some tips, man.
Yeah.
the gut bass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Little single.
I got one last question for you,
Yeah,
just
man.
as a way to kind of wrap it up
yeah.
and kind of get some more of your wisdom, because you do have a lot of wisdom, man.
Nah,
And I really appreciate you being on this podcast with us, and I hope you come back.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah.
Guys. It's been
Yeah.
great.
Thanks for being our first guest too.
No,
Yeah.
I'm honored. I am truly honored.
Yeah, man. So yeah, the last question, the ending question, maybe that will take us out is, if you had advice for all of our listeners listening in, what is your advice to everyone?
Do you? I think find what you like and do it. Participate it, immerse yourself in it, become it. I think that's it.
Thank you, brother.
No, thank you guys.
Thank you, Nate. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Dave. And with that,
Well, join us next time on Love Your Brain.
Thanks for listening, and until next time. Oh, wrong setting.
That's better. Thanks for listening, and until next time, don't forget to love your brain.